Clark Connection podcast, where 12 years of coaching championships meets real-world leadership. Coach Clark broke through at the highest levels. Now he's bringing you the playbook. Every week, real leaders, real wins. Real strategies you can use Monday morning. If you're done with theory and ready for results, this is your show. You in? Let's go!
And yes, let's go. Welcome to Ask the Coach Live. Hey, I am your host, Aaron Clark, aka the Coach. Let me get that turned off as we get going right here, guys. Glad to have you on board tonight. I'm trying to change my setting on here, but it is not wanting to do that. Try it. Whatever. Let's go. All right. Got a good one for you guys tonight. So glad you're able to get on and join. Okay. So we're going to be diving in to chapter 2 of my book. You're here. Now what? Going to be talking about the mistake number 2, which is thinking you know it all. But before we get into all that, a huge shout out to all my sponsors: Hubbard Flooring Studios, Steadfast Electric, Dr. Bob, Automate Integrate. Who else am I forgetting? I think that's it. Oh, TrueScaler. TrueScaler. I was like, I knew I was forgetting one. So we got TrueScaler, Automate Integrate, Hubbard Flooring Studios, Steadfast Electric, and Dr. Bob. So, guys, excellent. Also want to take a second to encourage you guys that I got a couple of things coming up. First, that I want to talk to you guys about, and I'm going to share this in the chat, is the Rise into Purpose Summit. Okay. It's going to be an excellent summit. So for those of you watching on YouTube, you can get it. It's right there. They're going to be talking about don't grow your business faster than you grow yourself. So the importance of personal development and personal growth. Very, very, very important. Make sure you go, look, I just put like I said, I put the link in there. I'm going to show it on the stream. All you got to do is you go click on that, sign up. It's free. And there are going to be tons of great speakers on here as well. So it's not just me. They've got over 20 speakers. They go sign up, get registered for that. The next one that I want to encourage you to get signed up for, that is, I'm going to type it in. It's my mastermind that I'm doing on developing the leader within you. And look, go sign up. You won't want to miss it. We're going to be talking about a lot of great topics going through here. Accountability, how to lead through change, how to prioritize. Because you can't time manage. You can only prioritize. No one can manage time. And there's all sorts of other great things in there. But go get signed up for that. It's 10 weeks. They sign. It's 1 hour for 10 weeks. So 10 total hours to get invested in yourself, to make yourself a better leader. And we all know that the world becomes a better place when we have better leaders in it. I was trying to figure out why I was so low on my camera. Well, that's because I'd squatted my seat all the way down. And then last one that I have, guys, and we're going to get right into it, because you want to make sure that you get this. Your copy of You're Here, Now What? Lots of great stories in here talking about how to become a better leader. And if you're new into leadership, this is a great place to start. If anybody on here has actually read my book yet, go ahead and press that like button. Give me a bunch of likes. It's the best book I've ever written. Okay, so you won't regret it. But get in here. There's a lot. I mean, my editor that told me that they felt it was a lot like just watching or sitting down and having a conversation, which is what I wanted it to be like. I want you to feel like you're just having a conversation. It's just a natural conversation, sitting down, talking about how to avoid these 5 pitfalls, and then what you can do to better yourself. That way you don't miss out, or to grow yourself. Because you can't completely avoid all of these, okay? You can't completely avoid all of them, but you can work on making yourself a better person, okay? And so let's talk about chapter number 2, which is pretending you know it all. Okay? Now, when we go through, and I want you to think about it, okay? Why do new leaders pretend they know it all? Because admitting you don't know something is pretty darn scary, right? I mean, I was working a trade show this weekend. And at the trade show, it was always fun to go and talk to the other people. And as you're asking them questions, and if they didn't know, you could tell like, the panic would come over because I'm supposed to know these answers. I'm supposed to know what's going on. And then you could tell the ones that were seasoned veterans, and you'd ask them a question they weren't sure about, and they would go, I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. And it's one we do as a new leader, because there were several that came to me as I was helping my friend Renee. You've heard me mention Renee. He's been on the podcast and starting What's Your Passion, a phenomenal group. And if I'd have thought about it, I'd put the link to where you could come in and join our community. We're going to be starting live webinars each week. And it's just a place for you to get in and come and learn from other great leaders. But as they would come up to me and ask me something, because there's a lot within What's Your Passion that I don't have a clue about. But I don't pretend that I know everything there is, because it's such a huge collective of individuals coming together. We've got people that help with CRMs. We've got people that can help with AI integrations on your websites. People that can help with GEO, generative engine optimization on your website, helping you get found in the AI search results. Leadership coaching. But all sorts of just different things. It's really cool what all there is that you can learn and grow within this community. But it's important to not pretend you know everything. And we do this because oftentimes you're promoted, and previously you were the expert on whatever it was. You might have been the best salesman, widget maker, whatever it is. You've been promoted, and now you've got to perform. You feel that urge to perform. But it doesn't always have to be that scary. And how going from being a new leader to being an experienced great leader, you start to evolve. I had the privilege this weekend of really sitting down with talking with one that we've become pretty good friends over this weekend. His name's Arthur Gutierrez. Arthur has run and operated major businesses in New Orleans, in Las Vegas. And we were just talking about, hey, how did you do some of these things? And tell me a little bit more about that. And he was like, look, I don't know how to run every aspect of the nightclub that I was running or the restaurant that I was running. But I did know that I had people that knew how to run it. And that's where you have to move to as the leader. You have to understand that you can't possibly know everything about everything. Even if I were to take the smartest person probably on planet Earth right now, I don't know if you love him, don't know if you hate him, but Elon Musk is probably the smartest human being on the earth right now. And he will admit he doesn't know everything. And so as the leader, it's our job to not bring the best idea into the room. It's to make sure that the best idea leaves the room when we all leave the room, that we collaborate and work together. And it's something different because you've been told all your life that you're the leader. You have to have the answers. You got to be able to do this. You got to do that. You got to show that you're constantly in charge. Have that, right? And that's just not the case. And whenever you become the leader, your job is to coach and train the people around you. It's your job to make sure that they know how to do their job. Your job is to no longer be the best on the team, it's to create the best. I used to tell everybody my goal on any team that I run, and it's still my goal, is I want to be the worst person on our team. And some of you may be thinking, the worst person on the team? Why would you want to be the worst person on your team? Don't you want to be the best? But if I'm the worst person on my team, we got a pretty good team. And so it's your job as the leader to lift them up, like to help give them the tools to make them better. So you don't have to know all of the answers, okay? And so it's a lot different from going to being the producer to being the teacher, okay? And so it's why a lot of times, if you look at your most successful athletes, when they try to go into coaching, they usually aren't the best coaches. I saw somebody put in one of the comments something about Michael Jordan. Well, yeah, he was the best basketball player ever. Not a very good coach. Steve Kerr, on the other hand, wasn't the best guy on their team. He was like the 6, 7, 8 man on the team, but won multiple championships as a head coach. Because he had to learn all sorts of other skills, he had to be able to learn all the positions. You got to be able to teach the people. And so oftentimes, whenever you're looking to put somebody in charge of a program or something, that you want to be able to have that person that understands the concept and then can hold the people accountable. And so as we go through and do this as the leader of the team, this, especially when we're new, and if you've been up in leadership long enough, it's still quite scary. I don't like it when they come up to me and ask me a question that I don't know the answer to. When my team comes up and asks me a question I don't know the answer, it's like, gosh, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. But if we want to continue to grow, I don't have to have all the right answers. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. Your job is to help get the best idea out of the room. And so things that you can do to help overcome this, okay? You know, whenever I was in charge of admissions over 6 campuses, and oftentimes I'd get somewhere and somebody would want to ask me something about another department. And oftentimes I would ask them right back, because usually it was of the person in that department, I'm not sure. Can you explain to me how that works? Can you explain to me how that works? And they would start to tell me, hey, when we do this, this is how we go through and did it. Perfect. All right, so how do I help you do that better? What tools do I need to give you in this process? And by giving them that back, that showed them that, hey, I trust you. And then in return, they're going to give me trust back. Even whenever I was coaching athletics, I promise you guys that, I've got a couple of stuff up here showing state finalist for bowling as a coach. I wasn't the best bowling coach. I had an excellent assistant. Now, Coach Wendy has forgotten more about bowling than I know that I've ever learned. She's forgotten more. But I trusted her to be able to do that. And we actually worked really good in tandem together, because what I would do with Coach Wendy is we would always start off the game. So usually, I was about to say, you see my Coca-Cola cups, I'd usually go and sit down, and as the match would start, I'm sitting there drinking my Coke or whatever, water, whatever that I got, and Coach Wendy would go to work. When she turned around and went, Clark, your turn. I knew, all right, we're now playing mind games. I've got to get them out of their head so they can then bowl. And we worked real well together. And we had to. I didn't know everything there was to know about bowling. I knew how to win, but I didn't know everything there was to know about bowling. Same thing whenever I was a young coach, starting to learn about that defense and want to become a defensive coordinator. I started asking the defensive line coach about defensive linemen. Why? I never played defensive line. All throughout my life, I started off as a safety and a quarterback. Never more than, in high school, I was 185 soaking wet. You don't, that doesn't make your way to the defensive line, especially when our defensive linemen were somewhere around 250. Wasn't big enough. When I went to college, I definitely wasn't big enough. Like, I think our smallest starter was like 280. And at my height, or at my peak of my weight, I was 235. So yeah, I never made it to the line. I didn't learn about being a defensive lineman. I never had to. But as we started going, it was important for me to understand, hey, if the defensive line is supposed to make a shift to the left, how does that affect the play? How does that affect where the linebackers need to move? How does that affect what we're doing in the secondary? What's the overall scheme? I had to learn those things, okay? And it's important because as you move up into that leadership role, you may have been the best salesman. You may have been the best producer, but you didn't have to see the whole picture. And so now it's okay to learn from your team. Another way, they bring you something you don't know. Hey, how do we put together this package? Don't defer. Stop and go, I don't understand this. Let's figure it out together. Again, you're teaching your team how to approach problems. I don't know how to fix this. Let's see how we can fix it together. It's very important that as you go through and work on these things, that you do it together. Learn and grow together. And you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. I know it's what we've been told, but think about it. Who likes a Mr. Know-It-All? Heck, Kelly Clarkson wrote a song about it, and trust me, you do not want me to sing that song. And it's not, singing's not something I do very well. But learning how to do it, and like motocross. I've told everybody that's what got me started. My son wanted to race motocross. I knew this much about racing motocross when we got started. Well, I knew, hey, there was bikes and you twist the throttle and stuff, but I didn't know, how do you change a tire on the bike? How do you change out the sprocket? How do you change out this? How do you fix a top end? How do you, if there's a leak in the radiator, how do you fix it whenever you can't just go get a new one? I had to learn all those things. Hopped on YouTube, learned it. We did a lot of learning together. I had to ask a lot of parents, all right, why is the bike doing this? And it's the same way. Don't be afraid to ask and learn. That's the only way you get better, is to learn. Okay? And so as you go throughout the rest of your week, hey, look for those opportunities. What are your learning opportunities? How can you grow? You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. And honestly, I think if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Find a new room to go to so you can learn and grow. Always be looking, who can I learn something from somebody else? How do I gather more information to become the smartest person that I can possibly be? How do I become my best? How do I reach my stretch? Do that daily. And it starts by just something as simple as reading for 5 minutes a day. So if you're not sure, hey, what should I read next or do next? Here's the perfect one. Just put it up on the screen. Get your copy of You're Here Now What. If you buy it through that link, you click on that Stripe link, you buy it. I will give, much like this person, they got their own personal note. I'm not going to leave it up. I write you a personal note, I autograph it, and then I mail it to you. If you're not right around town, I mail it to you. I send it to you. I make sure you get it. And it's very simple, quick reads, guys. Like, I mean, I'll just go to, because we were on chapter 2, or talking about chapter 2. I mean, pretending to know everything. I don't know if it's, as you can see, it's got several simple little breakdown spots in it. As you get over here, and we talk about what does it look like. It's no more than 5 to 10 pages per chapter. The perfect 5 to 10 minute read if you're not used to reading. And there's lots of great stories, but spend time reading, spend time exercising, spend time like growing yourself. And then if you're ready to take the next step and you want to move on to the next level, like go ahead and sign up for my mastermind class. It's right there. I'm gonna put it back in the chat for you as well. Just so you see it, developing the leader within you. It's my favorite one that I do, because we really go through and talk about the foundations of becoming a great leader. And then if you want something more immediate and to get lots of different perspectives and opinions, go join the Rise into Purpose Summit. Because I'm going to talk about how do you, not that one. I'm going to talk about don't grow your business faster than you grow yourself. Because ultimately your business cannot outgrow you, guys. It may go further than you for a little bitty season, but it's always going to go right back under. So if on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 5, your business is never going to be more than a 5. It might touch a 6, but it's going to quickly go back down. And most likely it's going to operate at a level 3 or a level 4. So it's so important that you continue to grow yourself. And growing your mind is just like anything else. It's like if you work out, if I don't go, like I hadn't worked out in forever, and my son's asking me, he's like, Dad, what was your max and bench? What was your max and squat? Do you think you could do that again? I'm like, not right now. For me to get back to benching 325, it's going to take 2 to 3 years for me to get back to that level. And so if you don't use it, it's going to steadily decline and decrease because it's constantly, the world's changing, it's evolving. So you constantly have to work on getting better. And especially with AI now. And that's one that I can tell you, like for our next coaches breakfast, we're going to be talking about getting your time back. So on August 18th, if you hadn't done, put that down. We got the power hour that I've just was asked to start hosting. Me and Beth Townsend are now hosting the power hour, sponsored by 225 Trade. So that's another phenomenal one. It's $20. Come eat lunch with us, or breakfast, depending on which week it is. So the first and fourth Wednesday of the month, the first and third Wednesday of the month, we're gonna have lunch. Second and fourth, breakfast. Hey, come and be a part of it. Come join us. And really, like, you want to find a great place to connect, do that. That's a great place to connect. And I just don't have it on here, but I would share that with you. Go look on all my socials. Guys who are here watching on TikTok, or if you're on YouTube, all my social media is at Coach Clark Leadership. And we're just posting it. So go join those things. Go do those things, okay? And then remember, you don't have to be great to get started. But you have to get started to be great. So keep leading, keep learning, keep asking questions. And I'll see you next week on Ask the Coach. Later, guys.